In the UPSC Prelims 2023, we have had a question on healthcare, question number 75. The statement one says India's public sector healthcare system largely focuses on curative care with limited preventive, promotive, and rehabilitative care. The statement 2 says under India's decentralized approach to healthcare delivery, the states are primarily responsible for organizing health services. Which of the following is correct in respect of above statements? Both statement 1 and 2 are correct, and statement 2 is the correct explanation for statement 1. B. Both statement 1 and 2 are correct, but statement 2 is not the correct explanation for statement 1. Statement 1 is correct, but statement 2 is incorrect. And statement 1 is incorrect, but statement 2 is correct. This is the question that we have, 75th question. Now, why has this question been asked? Well, we see that, first of all, healthcare is a primary focus of the government of India. But since COVID, healthcare has been definitely in much more sharper focus. And post COVID, there was a lot of immediate attention that went to communicable diseases. But essentially, we need to focus on a more holistic idea of healthcare. And if we take a look at that, the National Health Policy of 2017 had already brought this attention to that holistic healthcare. The National Health Mission, which is the flagship program of the government of India dealing with healthcare, also has this holistic focus. Now, lately we find that the Ayush deliverables of the Ayush ministry, which is Ayurveda, Yoga, Unani, Siddha, and homeopathy, has been promoted by the government of India a lot on various different platforms, including with budgetary allocations. And this is definitely the part where we are not focusing on just curative, but we are focusing on preventive, promotive, and rehabilitative care. In light of these various different developments, this question can be seen. Now, let us get to examining the statements given in the question. The first statement says India's public health care system largely focuses on curative care with limited preventive, promotive, and rehabilitative care. So, what is curative care? Once a disease or some health issue takes place, then whatever it is that happens in order to deal with it is curative, such as we do a surgery or we give some medication for the patient to get well, right? So that's curative. What is preventive? Preventive is the steps that we are taking so that some illness does not occur in the first place, so that we can focus on ensuring that the water is clean, that the sanitation and hygiene practices are being done correctly, right? So that these illness issues do not arise in the first place. Promotive largely focuses on behavioral interventions wherein people have the right kind of information, such as, for example, they understand the importance of breastfeeding for the child, or they understand the importance of hygiene, and they have inculcated this happy and healthy practices of exercise. So these are largely considered to be promotive. Rehabilitative are those practices which is when, let's just say, an illness has happened and maybe the curation of the immediate issue has been done, but so that the patient can get back to full happy life, right? Maybe, let's just say, in the case of a dental issue, getting a dental fixture would be rehabilitation so that you can go back to chewing as much as you want. Or maybe somebody would need a walking aid after a surgery has been done, wherein maybe a leg had to be removed. So a walking aid helps them to get back, reintegrate, rehabilitate with society. So these are various different categories of healthcare. Now, where are we putting the maximum money? This is from the Health Account Expenditure Report of the Government of India. And we see that these two large categories where the bulk of the money is going is curative. The traditional focus of the healthcare system has been on curative healthcare. Now we are focusing our delivery on, preventive and promotive and rehabilitative as well, and that is largely, you know, Ayush deliverables have been given a lot of focus by the government of India. But apart from that, we find that even in the national health policy of 2017 that the government of India had announced, the government had said that now that we have a commitment to allocating 2.5% of our GDP to healthcare, two-thirds of this is going to primary healthcare. Two-thirds of this is going to primary healthcare, and we are going to focus alongside on preventive, promotive, and rehabilitative. This is what the government had said in the National Health Policy 2017. So, getting back to our question, the statement one is correct because this is where the bulk of the money and the allocation is going and where the programs are focusing. The statement two says India's decentralized approach to healthcare delivery, the states are primarily responsible. Well, health is listed in the list 2 of the 7th schedule of the Constitution of India. And that means it is enlisted in the state list. So the primary authority responsible for the delivery of healthcare structure and apparatus in India are the states. The central government definitely leads with research and funding initiatives, or maybe ensuring that there is a smooth rollout of initiatives coordinating across India. But the delivery of that, the primary responsibility is of the state government. So the second statement is in fact also correct. So both statement 1 and 2 are correct. So we have to choose between these two options. Now the statement 2 does not have any correlationship with statement 1. The statement 2 is saying that the healthcare delivery is largely the state government's responsibility, right? But does it explain as to why largely the focus so far has been on curative and not preventive, promotive, or rehabilitative care? Is there a reasoning assertion based link between these two statements? Well, none that we can establish. As such, the statement 1 is the option A is wrong and the option B is right. The option B says both statement 1 and statement 2 are correct, and statement 2 is not the correct explanation for statement 1 because statement 2 is not an explanation for statement 1 at all. As such, the correct answer is option B.